Our thoughts have an astonishing influence on the world we experience. Even a fleeting moment of self-doubt or a sudden burst of gratitude can color an entire day, shaping how we perceive people, tasks, and opportunities. By tuning in to the steady hum of our inner voices, we begin to realize just how much of our reality is generated from within. Today, let's explore how to harness this realization, creating a daily rhythm of positivity that aligns with your deepest hopes and desires. When you wake up in the morning, does your mind immediately focus on burdens and worries? Or does it greet the day with a sense of promise? This difference in perspective isn't merely a matter of temperament. It's often the product of thought habits cultivated over months or years. But here's the loving truth. No matter how long you've entertained a certain pattern, you can shift it. It takes practice, kindness toward yourself, and a willingness to try new approaches. But the rewards are immense. Improved mood, healthier relationships, and even a more vibrant outlook on the future. Consider your mind as a garden. Each thought you plant is a seed, which, if nurtured consistently, will grow into blooms that color your experiences. Negative, self-defeating thoughts can lead to weeds of doubt and fear, while positive, life-affirming beliefs flourish into confidence and openness to possibility. Through steady attention, you can weed out what no longer serves you and plant nourishing ideas that strengthen your sense of self-worth and capacity. Over the next segments, we'll delve into several practices inspired by a perspective that holds loving ourselves and our thoughts at the center of healing. We'll see how targeted affirmations can reframe our mental scripts, mirror work can deepen self-compassion, and gratitude can shift us from a scarcity mindset to one of abundant appreciation. We'll also address common pitfalls, the misconception that positive thinking means ignoring real problems, or that old beliefs can vanish overnight. Above all, remember that true change doesn't arise from punishing ourselves for bad habits. Instead, it unfolds through gentle daily effort, one thoughtful moment at a time. If you've ever felt held back by self-doubt, or weighed down by a persistent sense of "I can't," know that these patterns are not fixed. They can soften, unravel, and transform. So as we begin, take a calming breath. Reflect on the life you wish to create and hold that intention in your heart. Together, let's walk through the art of molding your reality with kindness, discipline, and unwavering hope. By the end of this journey, you may find yourself not just thinking differently, but living with greater clarity, joy, and a renewed sense of wonder at what is possible when the mind aligns with the heart. Our minds have a remarkable ability to frame our experiences, and whether we realize it or not, the way we think can become a self-fulfilling prophecy. If you catch yourself saying, "I always have bad luck," you might notice events that confirm this belief, overlooking or dismissing positive moments that don't fit your storyline. It's as though the mind carefully sifts through reality, handpicking pieces that align with what you've declared, reinforcing your existing worldview. This process is neither magical nor mysterious. It's a reflection of how our brains handle information. From a young age, we internalize messages from family, society, and our own interpretations of success and failure. Over time, these messages solidify into truths, guiding our reactions and decisions. If you were told repeatedly that you're incapable or not good enough, your thoughts might be stuck in a loop of discouragement. Conversely, If you were encouraged to explore your talents, you might lean on a more supportive inner dialogue. The beauty of understanding this mechanism is realizing that awareness grants choice. When you recognize a limiting belief, like "I never follow through" or "no one will listen to my ideas," you can pause and ask, is this genuinely true? Or am I perpetuating an old narrative? The moment you question a thought, you break the cycle, creating space for a healthier perspective to take root. One simple way to test the power of thought is to set a small, positive intention at the start of your day. For example, affirm, "Today, I choose to see the good in unexpected places." Notice how your brain soon becomes more attuned to glimpses of kindness, opportunities, or moments of joy that you might have previously overlooked. This shift isn't about denying reality. It's about broadening your perspective so that hope and possibility can shine through. Still, it's crucial to remember that big transformations often happen in small steps. If you've spent years absorbed in self-doubt, it might not vanish overnight. But each time you counter a negative thought with a gentler, more hopeful one, you chip away at the old pattern. Think of it as rewiring an intricate network of beliefs within your mind. Every supportive statement or validating reflection builds a new neural pathway, gradually replacing the entrenched ones. By cultivating a daily practice of mindful awareness, you begin to differentiate between helpful and harmful thoughts. Over time, positive thinking ceases to be a forced effort and becomes a natural inclination, an internal compass guiding you toward healthier, happier experiences. Whether you're stepping into a new job, navigating a difficult relationship, or simply wanting to find more peace at home, harnessing the power of thought can be a gentle yet transformative force. In the next section, we'll dig deeper into one of the most popular and effective tools for this mental transformation: affirmations. Affirmations are like loving handshakes for your subconscious, offering gentle reassurance that, yes, you are worthy, capable, and infinitely deserving of good things. These brief, positive statements bypass the critical mind and speak to deeper layers of belief, gradually easing out the negativity that may have nested there for years. By consistently repeating affirmations, aloud, on paper, or even silently, you plant seeds of optimism in the fertile ground of your imagination. If you're new to this practice, imagine reciting an affirmation like, "I am enough just as I am," or "Opportunities flow to me with ease." It might feel awkward at first, especially if these words stand in stark contrast to your habitual self-talk. But that's precisely why they're so valuable. Affirmations nudge you toward a fresh perspective, challenging old stories about your limitations. Over time, they begin to feel more natural, and you'll notice glimmers of confidence where doubt once ruled. How should you start integrating affirmations into your routine? One of the simplest methods is to pick one or two statements that resonate with a current goal or challenge. Perhaps you want to heal from a painful relationship or develop the courage to chase a new dream. Craft a statement that addresses those desires like, "I release past hurts and open my heart to new beginnings," or "I trust my ability to create a fulfilling path forward." Write these messages in a journal or on sticky notes around your living space. If you have a smartphone, consider setting daily reminders that pop up with these affirmations so you're regularly greeted by uplifting words. Recent trends show entire communities dedicated to monthly affirmation challenges, where participants commit to reciting positive phrases daily and sharing their experiences. Joining such groups, online or in person, can amplify the effect by fostering a sense of mutual support. People trade stories about breakthroughs and even short-term setbacks, reminding each other that real change unfolds over time with consistent practice. One caution: affirmations are most potent when coupled with sincerity. Try to connect with the emotional core of the statement. If you're saying, "I love and accept myself fully," take a moment to breathe and truly feel what self-acceptance might be like in your body. This helps the message embed more deeply, transforming mere words into a heartfelt declaration. Affirmations don't merely gloss over life's struggles. They gently remind you that even in hardships, there's a foundation of strength and hope within you. You may also experiment with various times for saying affirmations, first thing in the morning or as a calming ritual before sleep. Some find midday breaks useful, especially during hectic schedules, as a way to reset and refocus on positive outcomes. Ultimately, the key is consistency. With each repetition, you affirm not just the words themselves, but your worthiness of receiving the blessings they describe. In our next segment, we'll explore an empowering companion technique, mirror work, a practice that takes affirmations and self-love to a deeper, more personal level. Picture yourself standing before a mirror. Instead of quickly scanning for imperfections or making sure your hair is in place, you meet your own gaze with kindness. You speak gentle words of encouragement, addressing your reflection by name. This is the essence of mirror work, a technique often recommended to deepen the impact of affirmations and foster genuine self-acceptance. Why does mirror work hold such potent potential? Because when we look directly into our own eyes, we bypass the layers of distraction that typically shield us from self-scrutiny. It can be both intriguing and unsettling. You might realize just how seldom you allow yourself real intimacy with your own reflection, or how prone you are to immediate self-criticism. Mirror work invites you to change that script, offering the simple but revolutionary act of meeting yourself with compassion. Start small. Stand in front of a mirror at home and take a slow breath. Gently say, "I appreciate you," or "I'm learning to love and accept you one step at a time." If it feels strange or forced, that's okay. You're challenging an old habit of self-judgment. With consistent repetition, you may notice subtle shifts, a softening in your posture, a sense of relief replacing initial discomfort, perhaps even moments of unexpected tears. These emotional responses suggest that you're peeling back layers of self-critique and opening new space for tenderness. To expand this practice, consider picking one or two affirmations that resonate with a specific aspect of your life. For example, "I value my worth and trust my decisions," or "I forgive myself for past mistakes and I grow stronger each day." Look yourself in the eye and recite these phrases with as much sincerity as you can muster. If you feel doubt arise, questions like, "Is this really true?" Acknowledge those thoughts and let them pass, then repeat the affirmation. This process teaches your mind that it's safe to hold positive beliefs about who you are. For some, mirror work pairs beautifully with a ritual of lighting a candle or playing soft, soothing music to signal that this is a sacred time of self-reflection. Others prefer to keep it simple, weaving it into a morning routine or winding down at night. The key is consistency. Even a few minutes each day can help overwrite years of harsh self-talk. As you continue, you might spot changes in how you speak to yourself the rest of the day. Negative critiques become less convincing, while supportive thoughts take firmer hold. Over time, you strengthen an internal anchor of self-compassion that carries into your interactions with others. This kindness radiates outward, fostering greater empathy in relationships and a calmer approach to life's challenges. Mirror work is no quick fix or superficial trick. It's a heartfelt practice rooted in the belief that genuine transformation begins with how we see ourselves. When you learn to gaze into your reflection and offer compassion instead of critique, you start dissolving old layers of self-doubt, making room for confidence and warmth to guide your journey. Next, let's dive into another transformative element that complements affirmations and mirror work: the powerful shift of gratitude. Gratitude is like a warm glow that illuminates everything it touches. When we pause to recognize the good in our lives, whether it's the kindness of a friend, the comfort of a home, or simply a moment of peace, we begin to see that even in difficult times, there's much to appreciate. This perspective shift might seem modest, but it carries a profound impact, reshaping how we approach challenges, relationships, and our own inner dialogue. One reason gratitude proves so transformative is that it pulls us out of a mindset of scarcity. If we only focus on what we lack, life can feel like an endless chase, constantly grasping for the next achievement, the next sign of approval. Gratitude gently redirects our attention to what we already have, reminding us of our existing strengths, resources, and blessings. This realization often leads to a sense of security and warmth, a recognition that perhaps we're not as depleted or helpless as our worries suggest. An easy way to cultivate gratitude is to integrate it into your daily routine. Consider keeping a small notebook by your bed. Each morning or evening, list 3 things you're thankful for. These can be big or small, from the love of a pet to a personal milestone achieved that day. Even if you repeat the same items frequently, consistency matters. Over time, you're training your mind to skim the horizon for uplifting details instead of dwelling on negativity or fear. You might also experiment with gratitude rituals throughout the day. During a break at work, close your eyes for a moment and silently say thank you for something in that exact moment. Maybe the sunlight streaming through the window or the supportive colleagues around you. Such mini pauses can redirect the flow of a stressful day, bringing clarity and calm. Or, if social media appeals to you, you could participate in a 30-day gratitude challenge, posting daily reflections. This communal aspect can amplify your practice as you share in others' joyful discoveries and become even more attuned to the good in your own life. Furthermore, gratitude has a ripple effect on relationships. When you openly appreciate something about a friend or partner, it inspires a deeper connection. You might find that even strained bonds soften when you notice and acknowledge positive traits in each other. This doesn't mean ignoring disagreements or issues. Rather, it balances them with a recognition of shared values and kindnesses. Over time, such habits can transform the tone of communication and foster greater mutual respect. In essence, gratitude reminds us that life offers a tapestry of experiences, some easy, some challenging, all potentially meaningful. Through consistent appreciation, we become more resilient, discovering that even amid storms, there are reasons to hold hope. Having explored how affirmations, mirror work, and gratitude each strengthen the roots of positive thinking, let's see how all these tools connect to something even broader: the interplay between mind and body in creating lasting well-being. Our bodies respond to our thoughts more deeply than we often realize. If we ruminate on fears or insecurities, muscles can tense, breathing becomes shallow, and our posture slumps, reflecting the weight of worry. Conversely, when we consciously nurture constructive thoughts, like "I am resilient" or "I can handle this," we invite the body to relax, the heart rate to stabilize, and a sense of calm to settle in. This is the mind-body connection in motion, a two-way conversation where mental states inform physical states and vice versa. Imagine a time when you received uplifting news or felt loved and appreciated. You probably noticed a spring in your step, a lightness in your chest, or a rush of energy that made you want to move and celebrate. This energetic shift is more than just fleeting happiness. It's a hint that our biology listens intently to the story we tell ourselves. Stress-related hormones tend to decrease when we engage in positive thinking, freeing up the immune system to function more optimally. Over time, maintaining a more positive baseline can even contribute to better sleep, improved digestion, and a stable mood. Of course, the mind-body link doesn't mean we should blame ourselves if we experience physical ailments. It's not about perfection or erasing every negative thought. Rather, it's about acknowledging our role as co-creators in our health journey. By choosing a daily practice of mindful optimism, we support whatever medical care or self-care strategies we're already employing. Think of it like watering a plant. The sunlight, medical treatment, helps it grow, but it also needs consistent watering, positive self-talk to truly flourish. One simple practice to reinforce this connection is breath awareness. Take a couple of minutes throughout the day to notice your breathing pattern. Is it shallow and rushed or slow and steady? If it's the former, try taking several deep, deliberate breaths. Inhale for a count of 4, hold for 2, then exhale for 4. Pair these breaths with a soothing affirmation, maybe something like, "With each breath, I invite calm into my body and mind." Notice how your shoulders drop and your jaw loosens, signaling that you've interrupted the cycle of tension. Light physical activities, such as gentle yoga or Tai Chi, also help unify mind and body. These practices encourage you to move with intention, paying attention to how each motion and pose feels. As you flow through them, you can quietly repeat supportive phrases: "I move forward with ease," or "I release what no longer serves me." In this way, movement becomes a dynamic extension of your mental reprogramming. By nurturing the mind with positivity, we create a more harmonious internal environment that can affect every cell in the body. It doesn't replace professional health care, but it certainly can complement it. In the next segment, we'll look at ways to recognize and release negative patterns that may be blocking the full power of your positive intentions. We all carry certain habits of thinking, those persistent loops that replay in our minds. Perhaps it's the script, "I'm not talented enough," or "people will reject me if I speak my truth." These negative patterns can show up in everyday choices, creating self-fulfilling prophecies and fueling needless worry. However, recognizing a pattern is the first step toward dissolving its hold. Once you see it, you can gently replace it with thoughts and actions that affirm your worthiness. To begin, try a simple self-observation exercise. For the next few days, whenever you catch yourself feeling anxious or down, pause. Ask, what was I just thinking? You might uncover a hidden refrain like, I'll fail at this anyway, or I can't trust my own judgment. Seeing these statements clearly is like turning on a light in a dark room. They're no longer operating behind the scenes. Now you can respond with a phrase that affirms the opposite, such as, I am learning new skills every day, and I trust my growth. In some cases, negative patterns trace back to old experiences, perhaps criticism from authority figures, peer rejection in childhood, or even traumatic events. If you suspect deeper wounds are fueling your self-defeating beliefs, consider seeking professional guidance or joining a supportive group. Healing emotional baggage doesn't mean you're broken. It means you're courageous enough to address what's been overshadowing your happiness. Another technique for releasing negativity is journaling. Write down the limiting thoughts as they arise, then challenge each one on paper. List any evidence that contradicts the negativity. For example, times you succeeded at a task or received genuine praise. This tangible process helps dismantle the certainty that negative thinking can carry. Over time, your brain starts leaning on this more balanced, factual narrative. Some people worry that letting go of negativity means overlooking real issues or living in denial. But releasing an unhealthy mindset isn't the same as ignoring genuine problems. It simply means not labeling every situation as hopeless or expecting the worst without reason. With a more balanced or optimistic approach, you're often better equipped to handle obstacles creatively and stay resilient under pressure. When a negative pattern resurfaces, and it likely will at times, respond kindly. Berating yourself for having a tough thought only adds another layer of self-criticism. Instead, acknowledge it. There's that old fear again. Then gently redirect your mind with an affirmation or a question like, what's a more compassionate perspective here? Each time you do this, you chip away at the hold negative thinking has on you. As you liberate yourself from these ingrained patterns, your newfound mental freedom creates space for fresh possibilities. You'll sense a readiness to explore different paths, take healthy risks, and view challenges not as personal failings, but as stepping stones for growth. Next, let's discuss how to solidify these positive transformations with a daily routine that seamlessly integrates each practice we've explored so far. The concept of positive thinking can sometimes be misunderstood. People might assume it means walking around with a forced smile or pretending that problems don't exist. This is far from the holistic approach we've been exploring, where genuine optimism arises not from ignoring challenges, but from choosing a perspective that emphasizes possibility and resilience. Let's clear up a few misconceptions. First, toxic positivity is a phrase gaining attention in wellness circles. It describes an insistence on being happy or cheerful to the point of dismissing genuine feelings. Healthy positivity, however, invites honesty. It encourages you to acknowledge pain, sadness, or confusion while believing these experiences can coexist with hope and self-compassion. You can say, I'm going through a hard time, and I trust I can find ways to cope and grow. Another pitfall is expecting immediate transformations. Changing deep-seated thought patterns takes patience. If you start reciting affirmations or mirror work for a few days and don't see results, it's easy to conclude that positive thinking isn't working. In reality, these practices gently rewire the mind over weeks, months, or even years. The shifts often begin subtly: a milder reaction to criticism, a day that feels more peaceful despite stressors, or a newfound courage to attempt something unfamiliar. There's also the concern that focusing on personal thoughts and affirmations is selfish or self-centered. However, when you uplift your mental well-being, you're often better equipped to be present and supportive for others. Just as you'd mend a leaking boat before ferrying passengers across a lake, tending to your mindset ensures a stronger foundation for all your interactions. Over time, you may find that your increased calm and kindness radiate to family, friends, and colleagues, encouraging them to explore their own healing. Comparison can also derail progress. It's natural to look at someone else who seems effortlessly positive and wonder why you struggle. But each person's background and emotional wounds differ. Instead of measuring your journey by someone else's outward appearance, focus on small improvements. If your day contains a single moment where you replace a self-critical thought with a gentler one, that's progress worth celebrating. Lastly, relapses into negativity can feel discouraging, as though you've undone all your work. But revisiting old patterns is part of the growth process. Each time you catch yourself returning to an unhelpful mindset, you have the opportunity to practice a new response. This repeated redirection is what ultimately cements the healthier perspective in place. Rather than punishing yourself for these moments, view them as signposts indicating where more love and attention are needed. By recognizing and avoiding these misconceptions and pitfalls, you set the stage for a balanced approach to cultivating positive thinking. You honor your humanity, complete with its layers of emotion and vulnerability, while steadfastly moving toward a life shaped by kindness, hope, and authenticity. As we approach our final section, let's look at how to weave everything together in a structured daily routine that supports lasting change. Real, lasting transformation unfolds through consistent practice. It's one thing to read about affirmations, mirror work, or gratitude, and quite another to weave them into the tapestry of daily life. But imagine how your day might shift if you spent just a few minutes each morning gently nudging your thoughts toward a more constructive frame. Over time, these small acts become a rhythm, like brushing your teeth or preparing breakfast, that steadily redefines your mindset. Start with the morning. Upon waking, give yourself a moment before checking phones or diving into tasks. Affirm something uplifting, such as, "Today I choose peace and possibility." Inhale deeply, letting those words settle. Some people enjoy a short journaling session to clarify the day's intentions. Writing down what they're grateful for, how they want to feel, or any affirmation that resonates. This calm prelude sets a compassionate tone for the hours ahead. Throughout the day, integrate micro moments of awareness. Maybe every time you sip water or stand up from your desk, you silently repeat an affirmation. Or you can place a small note where you frequently look, on the refrigerator or by the bathroom mirror, that says, "Remember your worth." These nudges keep your positive intentions alive especially during busy or stressful periods. Consider carving out time for mirror work after lunch or mid-afternoon. Spend 1 minute making eye contact with yourself, stating an affirmation, or offering a kind thought. If you feel silly, remember this is a practice in self-trust. Over time, you'll associate that reflective pause with acceptance rather than judgment, gradually dissolving the default urge to self-criticize. In the evening, a short gratitude ritual can help you transition from the day's hustle to restful sleep. Write down 3 things that went well, even if they seem small. Maybe you had a friendly chat with a neighbor, or made progress on a personal goal. If you face challenges, note them too, and reflect on what you learned. This balanced approach acknowledges that while life isn't perfect, there's always growth and grace to be found. On weekends or days off, you can explore deeper emotional cleansing. This might be extended journaling sessions, a healing bath with calming music, or practicing more intense mirror work to release lingering anxieties. If negative thoughts resurface, gently remind yourself, I'm in the process of change, and it's okay to experience ups and downs. Repetition cements new thought patterns, so consistency is your ally. Remember that a routine isn't meant to be rigid or stressful. Adapt these ideas to fit your lifestyle. If certain practices feel more natural than others, focus on those first. Gradually, you'll develop a unique positive thinking toolkit that aligns with your schedule and personality. The key is to keep going. Each moment of mindfulness, each affirmation spoken, each small act of self-care is a building block for a more joyful, resilient life. Now let's bring all these strands together: affirmations, mirror work, gratitude, understanding the mind-body bond, into a final reflection on how you can consciously create your new reality and make it a lasting experience. We've journeyed through a tapestry of methods to gently reshape your inner world. From recognizing the immense power of thought to harnessing affirmations, from practicing mirror work to embracing gratitude as a force for good, and from acknowledging the mind-body synergy to releasing stubborn negative patterns. In weaving each strand into your daily life, you invite the possibility of lasting transformation, one that begins quietly in your heart and radiates outward into every corner of your existence. Positive thinking isn't about pretending difficulties don't exist. It's about orienting yourself toward hope and resilience, even when obstacles stand in your way. It's about saying, yes, this situation is real, and I'm also capable of finding meaning and growth within it. By adopting this balanced, life-affirming approach, you take responsibility for the stories you tell yourself. You become the author of new chapters, choosing words of encouragement instead of doubt or fear. This shift requires patience and self-compassion. Some days the old voices of criticism might be loud, and your attempts at positivity may feel shaky. On those days, remember that progress is rarely linear. Each step forward, no matter how small, counts. Every time you recite an affirmation, I release what no longer serves me, or take a moment to appreciate the good in your life, you tilt the scales toward greater well-being. Over time, these small acts accumulate into a mosaic of personal growth. Keep in mind that you don't walk this path in isolation. The world is full of individuals learning to prioritize constructive self-talk and healing rituals. Whether you find encouragement from online communities, local support groups, or close friends, seeking a network, helps you share insights, celebrate milestones, and maintain accountability. Just as a plant thrives with water and sunlight, your mindset blossoms when nurtured by community and consistent practice. Finally, trust that you hold within you a boundless reserve of creativity and love. Each positive statement, each kind gesture toward yourself, and each moment of gratitude amplifies that reserve, guiding you forward. True positivity doesn't disregard pain, but meets it with the knowledge that there's more to you than any struggle you face. It honors your strengths, your potential, and the innumerable ways you can continue to grow. Before we part, let's close with one affirmation that embodies this entire journey. I am the loving architect of my thoughts, and I build my reality with hope and compassion. Let these words settle in your heart, a reminder that you always have the power to shape the mental landscape you inhabit. May you carry this intention into all the precious moments ahead, confident in your ability to create a reality that reflects your deepest longing for peace, joy, and authentic self-love.